thing because this thing will just keep counting and not really start airing our audio until 4 or 5 minutes into the stream. And so people will just, oh dear God, we're on. Hey everybody, welcome back to Karandrin Role Playing. My name is Kevin Manus Pennings, also known as Cracked Palantir, and I'll be your host and game master for this episode 123 of Brise's Tale. And as always, my good buddy Max is here to play the beautiful and talented paladin Brise. Max, say hello to the lovely people.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to 123, the easiest episode to remember.
That's right.
Let's make it a one to remember, Kevin.
That's right. So yeah, I apologize for our various February, and February's a rough one for us. We had a couple of cancellations, medical and technical, and both of those are now
romantic.
And so all of those are now under control. So
except the romantic one.
Except for the romantic, we're all over the place with that. Our love affair continues, Max. But so I know we may be a little rusty in terms of where we left off. Of course, you're always welcome to go back and watch, but Max is going to bravely lead us through a recap. Just hit the highlights, Max, and we will shoot onward with the episode, and I'm gonna throw some captions up.
So. Yeah. Well, so to explain the last episode and explain some of the preceding ones, which is that we were at a Brise was witnessing the passing of Obrive, giant goddess that passes randomly through worlds peacefully, apparently. And this whole race of alien beings, multiple races of alien beings, has gathered here in Karandrin in this in the wilderness to witness them. And we were, pretty much just enjoying the celebration. There were some worries about some of the giants to the north of this valley. Crom, I think their name is.
He is the leader of that house.
Yeah, leader of this house of giants. I don't even know what a house of giants is, but I imagine it's pretty giant.
Right. See how I describe it, really.
There was a little bit of threat from them. They might try to intervene. And we found out that they did call off their invasion upon witnessing Obrive passing through the sky. But I did hear some of the elders conversing about, the follow-up, basically what to do next about this threat. And Brise, being a little nosy Nelly, tried casting a spell to hear with their conversation and fumbled it really badly. So ended up taking a lot of damage, being out cold for a lot of the celebration. I'm just going to tell people I, got a little too
celebratory.
Faded, yeah. And was pretty much the same thing. Missed a lot of it, but still had a good time seeing her passage, and everyone was ringing bells and singing songs, and it was pretty cool. And so yeah, just kind of woke up, we did purchase a stone that'll let me teleport back to the world of Odis, where the Awan, one of these races of beings who organized this whole celebration, are situated. So we can always go back to tie up some loose ends. But yeah, for now, I am just kind of nursing my wounds, recuperating from my losses. We no longer have my Falcon Familiar, Nalani. Very sad. Claps in chat for Nalani, if anyone wants to send some. I guess it wouldn't be a clap. It would be a Falcon. Or a Talon.
That's right.
So she served us well, but she is gone, as well as a lot of my magic rings. Yeah, I think that's... Oh, and then we did meet with the Trinidas last session. In fact, I was going to ask, I don't know if we finished that conversation. Did we agree to meet again, Kevin?
I think so.
I didn't write it down if we did.
What was their next... the Trinidas, for those who forget, are tiny deer-like fae. that have been a long ally of Brise's. They were gonna. What was their next
So
task?
they're afraid they've been spotted by the Philistine, right?
Right.
They become more reclusive. Most of their efforts and Alverdal's efforts continue to be rebuffed. They didn't really say if a next mode of action. I just proposed that we arrange a meeting with Chelbrick. So
Right. They were going to run that by Alverdal.
That's right. Okay.
And so let's say, because they can do that relatively quickly, let's say 3 days, dawn of the 23rd.
All right.
All right. They will do that. I need to put that down in my little notes over here. And
then we suggested I have a rare artifact or two that could be used as bargaining with this supposedly evil sorcerer who is aiding the Philistine. We could at least either deter him from his plans or learn about what he's doing.
And what is your where did you come down on the question of offering the crossbow? We mentioned.
I completely forgot about that. We didn't even bring that up. Oh my gosh.
I think it's a good sign if the story is so compelling, you forget that you have enormously powerful magic items. I just think
it's true. It's true. Yeah. Yes, I have. Well, it's not even enormously powerful. It's just enormously valuable. We think estimated over 40,000 gold, I think was one of the estimates.
Yeah.
It's very, very finely made. I think it's the material especially is just so unique and so well selected.
Yeah.
Yeah. And wow, that would actually be, I mean, if we want to just throw in that, I mentioned that to the Trojans too.
Okay, go ahead and make that note. I don't.
Yeah. Either the dark pearl or this valuable crossbow. Yeah.
Right. It'd be interesting to see. You might make a note to show it to any of your magical advisors you trust, Fraldrum being chief among them, of course, because you don't want to, if it's too powerful to pass into the hands of someone like that, then, then that might be worth hanging on to. You want to get some advice on that before you. Of course, we think of it as a crossbow, but for someone with great knowledge, they might find other uses for it just by, potions. Like they just may grind it down and use it in potions.
Material is that like rare. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's what is the bonus on that thing?
It is a plus 40 substance.
Whew. That's unbelievable.
Easy.
That's unbelievable.
Remember we were joking, like, what bolts do you fire from this crossbow? Like, it's
what can take
40 bolts? Like, oh my gosh.
So,
26,000 gold is estimated. It was, I think, Clarin. Oh no, someone. We brought to someone in the Temple and Convergence who apparently knows a lot about this type of like weaponry, right?
Right.
That 26,000 gold pieces, but I should bring it up with some more people I trust and get their estimates too.
Yeah, and find out, just to make sure that it's not valuable in ways that would be bad to give away. I think it's really remarkable, and you could still, and that lacks any enchantment or rune. So
it could be enhanced further. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just remarkable. So you're still in the Valley of the Giants, although you're well south of their house.
Right.
There was full expectation that during the night that the Giants would descend and investigate the grounds that the gathering had inhabited to view and worship this alien god Ogrieve. Mm-hmm. And if they did so, there's you've not, you're too far away to find evidence of it, but there's certainly no evidence that they molested you in the night. Not to use such a loaded term, I guess, but the Obi-Wan Karen, hello, my cutie patooties. Hey, Obi-Wan. So yeah, 3 days. The Trinidas will come to you. You're still feeling really rough because of the damage you took from the disastrous fumble. What do you think your day is going to consist of today?
My day is going to be probably just chilling out for a while. I'm still also down on hit points. I didn't get a full recovery from last night. So I will be just taking it easy, hanging out at camp, and maybe going on a walk, around the area.
So I think we had you erase 2 meals this morning.
Yes.
I think you've already eaten and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Given your religious proclivities and given sort of the things that are going on, why don't you, we might make prayer a more sort of common.
Sure, yeah.
Common occurrence. And so if you were to pray, do you want to make it a general prayer? Do you want to pray for guidance? What would you like to do in that regard?
No, I think it's just a general prayer. I don't know if there's anything specific.
Well,
pray to come across more magic items.
That's right.
No, yeah, just a general prayer.
So the prayer definitely makes you feel more centered.
Okay.
You feel like things are going to turn out well.
Well, all right.
In fact, I'm going to give you +1 initiative all day today.
Awesome.
I'll
pray again.
That's right. That's the min-maxer talking in you, right? That's what they do. Like, I'm going to keep praying then.
How long do I have until the battle? How many times can I pray?
Exactly. Well, the God is tired of your.
That's great. I'll take that. Okay. But yeah, we're just gonna. I do have. Actually, I should cast Disguise Camp. I don't think I did last night.
Yeah, I don't think you were going to risk it.
So,
now, your -15 is going to make that.
True.
But
okay, yeah.
Careful preparation for a minute. A full minute of concentration will offset that penalty and then some.
Yeah. What's the level of it again? Disguise Camp. I think it's like level 6.
That sounds really familiar.
Oh, level 3. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll do some mental preparation. Take my time and then cast Disguise Camp on.
All right. Roll it up.
42.
Nice. Cast, normal expenditure.
Can't spell disguise. And we always say Disguise Camp, like the purpose of it, is supposed to hide your camp. What if it just turns your camp into like a circus? Like, well, that's not a camp. Oh,
I'll just pass it on by. When did that volcano get there? That's so strange. A sex shop. I don't know when that appeared in the valley, if you know what I mean. But wow. Yeah, so it's you're high level now. That's gonna last several days, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think 2.5 days, yeah.
So I'll put that on here for a little marker for me. What about so how are you going to spend the day? What's your next goal here?
So my next goal, actually, so I do have some time away from the keep, and I would like to return to the village, which I remember we struggled to find the name of. Still, the village where Volshad's candle I had last found was, and investigate whether it's still standing and whether I can try to free its inhabitants.
But you want to do that today?
Yeah, if I'm feeling better, like I might rest, for a little while. I can't remember the mechanics on it, right? If I just rest for half the day and then try to take off.
You'll basically heal a hit point an hour. For you though, probably 2 hit points an hour. And so you might be feeling a little better by noon.
It won't make too much of a difference. Yeah. So.
Right. And of course, for all your teleport stuff and all of that, you really want to really concentrate and
well, so that's what I'm saying. I could just spend the whole day resting, or do I feel good enough to go?
I think since you're going to be possibly upsetting Volshad, I think you'd want to be at your best. I don't think you want to.
Me too. Yeah. Down 45 hit points. That's feeling pretty like achy and bad.
Yeah, I mean that's you've got
after a hard battle.
Just sealed, and you've got your fingers are really bad. I mean that's the you've been left with dressings for them, and you've changed those out and so on, and clearly they've used arts of some sort, either herbal or magic, to help seal those, because you remember seeing bone at one point where your rings just seared through your flesh with them. So you're really surprised that you can even move your fingers, and it's making spellcasting particularly difficult. But if you really take your time as you did, then you can be back to your old self. But you won't be able to do that if there are surprises.
Right. So to avoid any surprises, we are just gonna rest the whole day. I can try reading from my tome. I think. Yeah. Nature's Law.
Yeah. So anything out of there you want to cast that would be helpful?
No.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, you're having a hard time focusing on the spells. So you get half an hour in. So I have you 1.5 hours. What do you have? What you got?
Oh, I would need to track. I haven't been tracking.
Don't worry about it.
Just start doing that.
No, that's fine. I've got it.
Yeah. I usually just search through the document and compile it that way.
No, I got you. So, so you turn over to something else, maybe turn your hand to something else.
Sure. Yeah. Something else reading, or you think Brise just goes?
Yeah, I think you're not in the mood to walk around yet.
Okay. We could read my. I have my book, my Speech for All Peoples. And I haven't decided on a language yet to start studying, right?
Were you not going to continue your study in Dwarven?
I could. I just thought I already had some ranks in there, right? So do I want to choose something else, or
right?
If Brise is interested in Dwarven, it sounds like she would continue with it. So
the other one you could do, particularly given where you are, the situation that is arising, you might go for Pen.
That's true, actually.
That would be the desert language. And to remind people, we have growing evidence that the Pen clans, the desert nation to the east, is involved now with a necromancer in the neighboring valley, and or a couple of valleys over, I forget how far. But that wasn't the case before, but it seems to have suddenly developed. And most interestingly is that the particular Pen lord that is getting involved with this necromancer, that seems to be involved with this necromancer at least, has a vocal opponent to magic. And yet there are indications that there are that he's involved with this necromancer. So, do you think Pen is the way to go?
Let's do it.
All right. So
I think I have to attune to it first, and then I can start studying.
All right. And we're going to sort of have you do everything slow today. Um,
Yeah.
what's it called? I'm sorry. What is the magical text called?
The speech for all peoples.
Speech for all people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll keep that as and that way I can keep track of your reading on it. All
really,
right.
it's a speech for one people.
That's right.
One
That's the people who believe in a national language, which, you know, as liberal as I am, I'm okay with a national language. I'm actually all right with that. Speech for, let's just do a search for that. Right. It takes 60 hours. So roll to attune to the book.
Attunement coming up 22.
No problem. It happens immediately, and you go, oh, it's one of those. It immediately grants you the contact, and it reminds you when you're touching it that after a minute of contact with the book, you get plus 15 to diplomacy for 1 hour.
Kevin, this is one of your homebrew magic items, or
Yeah,
could I suggest a small tweak to it?
sure.
Could we do 20 hours gives you 1 rank, another 20 gives you 2, and then the last 20 gives you the third one?
That's interesting.
I mean, doesn't that make kind of sense too?
Well, it makes sense. That's the thing about magic is, what does it mean to make sense?
That's true.
That is as legitimate as what is present.
Miracle roll.
No, miracle roll would be that that it's a more powerful version.
That is true.
Which you're welcome to do. I don't mind that.
In 1 hour and learn all languages.
That's right.
Just thrown out there. We don't have to.
No, I don't think so. I like having the commitment. It also prevents it kind of being milked by people.
That's true.
Being passed around. So if you have to commit 60 hours to it, would get any effect, then it slows down teams of players just passing it around and milking it for all it's worth.
All right. No problem.
So
start reading away then.
Roll for me. See how far you get.
74.
All right. That is a solid 2 hours.
All right. So 30 days, I'll be able to speak the language fluently, right?
Yeah,
that's not bad, actually.
No, you'll get 3 ranks means you'll get short phrases.
Oh, okay. Not fluent.
But you'll definitely be able to I need to put pen on here too. Make yourself a note on that.
Mm-hmm.
7 is speaking as a commoner would speak, that you'll have an accent. Okay. But at 3, that does mean that you can now learn it on your own just through contact with other people. And so it basically becomes a mobile instructor for you.
Right, basically. A mobile Rosetta Stone.
That's right. So
okay. So read 2 hours of that, and then
and that's 6 hit points for you.
All right.
All right. What next, sir?
Still just like I said, we could just roll through the day if we want. If there's
sure, but if you have tasks you want to do, we can roll for those.
No, yeah, and I don't think so. I'm looking through. Besides just kind of general camp stuff, I'd probably be cleaning my gear.
Yeah. Cleaning yourself,
like a cat.
Like a cat. The way you said that was great.
Dirty cat. Looking through my items if anything needs maintenance or checking off.
You do spot an eagle overhead right after lunch, so erase a meal.
Okay.
From that height, you can't recognize the eagle. The question is, do you wish to signal the eagle? A great eagle, I should say, for anyone unfamiliar.
Yeah, I would like to know what happened to with the Giants if they have any news. So I will attempt to go out to an open spot and wave my arms.
You're on the edge of an open spot now, just to remind you. You camped right against the edge of the trees of a clearing.
So that's what we'll do. Walk out there and hail him.
It passes without seeming to have noticed you.
We'll shoot. We can try to make a little fire, or at least just whatever fire I have at camp, right? Add some more smoke to it, maybe. And then stand down there and try to catch its attention that way.
Maybe just stick a torch in your little fire and then wave the flame.
I use the eagle summoning call.
That's right. You have a hard time believing that the eyes of the eagle have missed you.
That's true.
It is choosing to ignore you.
Well, choose to ignore this arrow.
Where's that?
I mean, yeah, there's nothing I can really do. I don't want to anger it, right? If it already doesn't want to talk to me, so we will let it go on by.
All right.
I'm annoyed, but I don't know what else to. Look through my scrolls really quick, actually.
Sure.
I already used my scroll of flying. I also fly up there. Scroll of leaping. I almost forgot. I do have my familiars tome as well. I should.
Oh, that's true. You could acquire a new familiar.
Yes, yeah. I don't think I have that list though, or you might have sent it to me at some point, but I would need to.
Oh, you don't have the list? You don't have the text of it?
I might have it in my email, but I'll figure that out maybe during the break.
Okay.
Okay. No, I'll just let the eagle pass overhead.
Okay.
And
the
his way. Oh, there it is. I do have it. Yeah. I have it, but one of the spells says, Kevin, create chart.
Yes, that's a note about 15 years old. So, but we can whip that up. Don't you worry about that.
Whip it.
Roll for me.
64.
Definitely a disturbance in the woods to the north. Something is moving amongst the trees, quite a ways off, north and slightly to the west. You realize that you'd been hearing some of it beforehand, but you just thought it was birds.
Okay.
But it is birds. It was birds moving out of this thing's way.
Right.
And that is when, of course, as it gets louder and you realize the sound is coming from a great range of heights, that it must be something very large.
Yes.
And while it's still 100 feet beyond the clearing, beyond the far edge of the clearing, right? Because you're at the southern edge of it. There, you are certain it has to be a giant moving towards your clearing. Of course, Disguise Camp is still in effect.
Right.
What would you like to do?
I mean, I just want to move out of this. I guess when we say giant, right? How I don't even know how big it would be right until I see
I
it.
don't think you've ever seen one, have you?
Oh, I've seen like the Nauglyph, that was
Oh, right.
the biggest scene. So assuming it's that big, right? I would like to get out of the way of its path, right? So
30 to 40 feet high is what you're expecting. If
okay.
it's the size of the Nauglyph.
So maybe I'll try 100 feet away out of if it's coming this way, right?
Yeah.
Move out of that way and hide.
That would be to be leaving the disguise placed on your cap.
I think that's okay because my fear is he's going to step on the camp. And then he's going to be like, ow, fire.
So gather your gear and everything?
Yeah.
Okay. And, that's right. You still can't open your bag of holding.
Oh, I forgot about that. Right.
So, yeah, you gather as much as you can. He enters the clearing. It is a male, bearded, easily 40 feet high. He wears essentially a castle gate as a breastplate.
Oh my lord.
He has these sandals that have the straps that run all the way up above the ankles. He carries with him just a savage-looking short sword for what he would call a short sword. The thing is still, 12 feet long. Bearded, although still with a youthful look to him. And he scans the, you are darting through the woods with your gear. He sort of scans over the area, doesn't appear to see you. Looks again, and he lifts his head to the sky, calls something out in this booming voice. Make sure you mark this as a first.
Marco.
That's it. That's it. It is definitely a variant of facts that he is speaking.
Okay.
And roll for me. We'll see if you can interpret it.
6.
No. But you definitely recognize the name Crom at the end. There, you suddenly get a blinding headache. You're knocked to the ground.
Oh my goodness.
And your disguise camp is shattered.
Oh, jeez.
He now spots the camp easily.
Oh my God, dude. I flew like 5 miles south of where O'Brien was. That's crazy that they'd probably just cover that in like minutes.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like, what's the math on that? If he's an average height moving an average speed, you guys move roughly 8 times your height each round.
Right. But he's also moving like in a straight line, right? Just over trees and things. Whereas
it's still some force to pull down a tree.
That's true. I guess, yeah. He needs to.
I don't know if you've ever tried to pull down a sapling your own height.
Sure. I guess if he's 40 feet high and the trees might be 40 to 100 feet high.
Oh yeah, pretty easily. And so they can resist a lot. I don't know if you've ever tried to knock down a sapling or pull up a sapling.
I've tried to pull out like even this high. You're like, oh.
Yeah, if it's got a taproot or something on there, oh man. Do you guys have down in Miami? Do you guys have dog fennel? Do you guys have dog fennel there?
We might call it something else. I don't know.
It grows fairly tall. I mean, it grow almost 6 feet high. It's a single stem and has these real tender little square little, almost like pine needles, but they're almost like the individual leaves of a frond, but they grow directly from the stem and they're very tender and green. And so it has a taproot, and it's called dog fennel because when you try to pull it out, it's so well anchored that what happens is your hand just runs up the stem and you tear off all these little tender green leaves and you smell it, and it smells like wet dog.
Oh my gosh. Really?
It's like a practical joke. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I haven't heard of that. Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to think when I could get
well,
you
in Miami, because it's like the subtropics, we just have like millions of different weeds, and like the
sure.
biodiversity is off the charts. It's crazy.
Right.
You're like, I don't know what that is, but it's growing in my yard now.
Exactly. Well, I used to have a sister. Where'd she go? That's a shame. We should probably do something about that.
Oh boy. Okay. And my
he clearly easily spots the camp now. It's,
right.
Your tent is still up, but it's empty. Your fire is still going, but it's, it's very low.
So I'm about like 100 feet away from it, right? Kind of just this
50, and then you probably have time to move without stealth. You're probably moving stealth, so you're probably 75 feet away now, moving at half rate.
Okay.
Sneaking. He strides to the camp.
Maybe he's a big friendly giant.
He kneels down, and you feel the ground tremble a little bit when his knee strikes. He peers into the tent and then just sort of pulls it up like a napkin.
Oh my gosh.
Roll for me.
8.
Jeez. So he says something again to the air. Again, it ends with Crom being the last thing. It is as though he is addressing her.
Right. It's interesting.
He rises, cocks his head as though hearing something, and then opens his mouth, and a woman's voice emerges.
Oh, jeez.
Stern, powerful, but not unbeautiful. And it says to you in clearly what is some sort of magically augmented facts. It says, I know you were here, Mandling. If this language is known to you, I order you to show yourself and converse with my child.
I will remain silent for now and see what other terms she lays down.
Do you wish to consider teleporting?
Well, yes. Actually, that's okay. I could prepare that, right? In case things look like they're going to go south.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to need to make a decision. Are you going to try? You need to decide now if you're going to talk or not talk. If you want this meeting or not. Because if you don't want it, your options to resist it are going to become.
I see what you mean. Yeah. I mean, she's a magic user, of course. Yeah.
Well, not merely a magic. So are you. But, if it were a single adventurer you were facing, okay, you've got some luxuries, you've got some time. Here, you don't know what time you have, but you know that when you run out of time, it's done. And so I think you need to decide, is this a yes or a no? Of course, the adventurers poll, which is the thing I like to, I hope I find in players who like this game, right? They play it so well because part of them wants to face the danger to have the experience.
Yeah, that's what I'm struggling. I'm like, do I want to face this, or is this going to be some? I mean, I know how evil this person is and how powerful, and I'm thinking I want to avoid that.
I mean, Gelkakek you thought was impressive,
right?
And she sensed his detection and threw it back upon him harmfully.
Exactly.
Um,
and I don't know if I want to mess with that right now.
Especially, even in your even if you're in tip-top shape.
Right. You know what? It might actually. It also makes more sense to. I know a name, Crom. I can at least research that and then find out more about her. I don't have to talk to her right now. So yeah, let's do a teleport away. I've got all my stuff with me. Just
right. You've lost your tent is the only thing that there wasn't time to take down.
Right.
And so do you want to cast it now, or do you want to wait for as long as possible to have preparation?
Let's have preparation because they don't know where I am. So I will at least take the next minute to focus.
Yeah. Take as long as you can.
Yeah. And I mean, I would like to. Is there anywhere I can teleport in sight? Right, like on the
next
over. Yeah.
I mean, you could teleport to any of the mountains that you can see, so long as there's a clearing. But I mean, things are going to get hot in this valley, right?
Yeah.
And
so maybe I should actually just teleport to someone from memory.
Yeah, it might be more distance, may be better.
Mm-hmm. Could teleport back to the Temple of the Iron Empress, and then I know that I can try to work backwards. Well, at least then the next day I can try to get to the village. So let's try that. Teleport to my campsite outside the
Temple
Empress.
You still have that in your list?
Let me double check. Simple. Wait, what? No, that's not it. Where is that? Teleport. I know I put it somewhere around here. Teleport spots and long-term goals.
If we start titling these, we can call this one a giant problem.
Spot on the road. No, actually, I never committed that one to memory because I wasn't teleporting there too often. So let's instead
roll. No, first you roll and see how clearly you remember.
Okay, so we'll do that first. See if that's a good one or not. That's a 1. Okay. Apparently, it's a very forgetful campsite. Man, I rolled like an 8, a 6, and then a 1.
Yeah.
The next roll must be amazing, right?
It's like me rolling up. Did I tell you about that hero I rolled up in the Marvel game we were working on? I'll have to tell you about that. It's really funny. It's just embarrassing. But anyway, I'll tell you about that after the stream.
I would love to hear it. Obi-Wan says, "Who we talking about?" I don't know who you are questioning talking about. So,
all right. So that one
is the giant leader that we might have.
Right. Sort of. She's the head of this house of giants, Obi-Wan, and she is apparently sent an envoy to find Brise. And so he is now, by that is to say, Max is now considering where to use teleport to flee to.
I'm so stupid. I actually memorized a spot by the candle I have right here.
Okay.
So that is what we will.
All right. Roll for me. We'll see how well. I mean, it counts as memorized, which means you get a bonus. But go ahead and roll.
I don't know exactly where it is next to the candle. We can figure that out. That's another 1. Are you kidding me? What is happening?
That is really crazy.
Well,
so that one, like you're just like, no, I'm not. I can go see it.
Prom's magic must be messing with my.
But you're also feeling terrible and you're afraid.
No, it makes sense. Well, then we'll try in the valley beyond the keep. We have memorize a spot with 2 trees crossing over a boulder towards the clearing's edge.
So I'm wondering why you're not just going back to the keep.
I could just go back to the keep.
Because you do have...
I want to stay in the valley. Like I was planning to go there, you know, in case the teleport doesn't work the second time, then I'm still at least where I need to be, is what I was thinking.
Well, but because of your injuries and because of the depth of your trouble and because of the need for research, the keep just seems to be crying out to me.
That's fair. I mean, I did say I would be away from the keep for a while, and it's only been 1 day, but I see what you mean. Can just convince her that.
Or you can just head to the town.
Yeah.
Just, walk down to the town and get a room and, just freaking enjoy yourself. And I mean, this valley is beautiful.
That's true. I always forget I can do that. I'm like, I have to either be at the keep or like in the wilderness, but I'm like, I can just go to town. So
let's I mean, it feels wasteful, but you have led a wasteful life. You're wealthy.
That's true. That's true. It's hard for me to remember that, but absolutely, that's what Brise would do. Would probably be, you know what? I'm tired of this. Let's just go back to civilization.
Right.
So trying to remember 74.
No problem there. So the envoy closes his mouth and is sort of scanning the area, waiting for you to appear. You are concentrating and taking deep breaths and trying to deal with your pain and discomfort. And you're trying not to flex. You're trying to do as little magical gesturing as possible because your hands hurt so much, but you want to do enough that you feel like it's going to carry the spell through.
Okay.
Where are you getting your PowerPoints from?
From my own.
Okay. And all right, roll to teleport.
And that is 17.
Well, that is a successful casting.
Not
12 PowerPoints gone, 20 exhaustion gone. Well, you teleport.
I teleport, all right.
Out in front of the Adventuring Guild in the town's name is just Balabry.
The Eternal Lantern is the name.
And you teleport right to that.
Okay. Good enough. Anybody caught unawares? Hopefully not.
2 horses and 2 goblins. The horses soon pull attention away from you as they go galloping down the street in opposite directions. Wow, those horses were terrified. 162.
Skittish horses.
You're so panicked about them like hitting people, running over children, that you don't even duck in to the thing. You're just like, oh my gosh, is everyone going to be okay?
Right.
People get out of its way. No one seems to get hurt. Some things get knocked over, goods on merchant stands and things like that. But before eyes can fall to you, you hope, you gather your wits, you go inside.
All right. Meanwhile, cut back to the giant in the valley, like, hello? Anyone? Just like empty.
He's like, takes out a cell phone, trying to get better reception.
I swear she was just here. What
was going on? I'm going to text her again.
Whew,
I hope she's not ghosting me.
Gotta love a good teleport.
Man, I love teleport. Teleport's going to be my favorite. I mean, I would love to have that ability like in the superhero game.
Okay.
So Um, you you go in very full, standing room only.
Wow.
Talwick, your friendly bouncer,
Mm-hmm.
is what is he? Full troll, half troll? I forget.
I think he's half troll.
He is at the door. Actually, he's at the half troll. Yeah.
8'3", Jesus Christ. From one giant to another.
Exactly. Yeah. That's extremely tall for a half troll. I left myself a note there. He rolled 163 for height.
Oh my God.
Doesn't recognize you. You dig out your insignia, which now has scorch marks on it. You don't remember how those scorch marks got there. You're wondering if the magic affected other items without you knowing it.
Yikes.
So the um, I mean, it's standing room only. Probably not going to find a room here. Might find resources here, but
yeah, I think I will actually go down to the other inn I know, which is what's it called again? The Eternal Lantern, the Everwell. Might go down to there instead.
Sure.
Roll
to navigate.
Well, I guess before that, I know when I stayed at the Everwell last. Do you remember? Man, that was so long ago. The Cult of the Iron Empress.
You had some trouble there.
Yes.
Because the
Brashlaw, I think his name was.
Yeah.
He kind of had a lot of eyes there. So do I think that would be
Well, look, all you have to do
he's been run out of town.
All you have to do, like if you're worried about being recognized and so on, just cover your face, right? Pull your hair back, pull your hood over, maybe go buy a new cloak, a hood and cloak, right? Or a hooded cloak.
Right.
Different color and everything. Walk in with a shuffle or a limp. That's the thing, is you don't owe anybody honesty in this world when it comes to your identity.
Right. I just forget how easy it is to disguise yourself. Right. I forget I'm wearing a cloak. So yeah, we'll just try to act like a different person.
Do you have a magical cloak? What's your cloak?
My cloak of billowing is what it is.
I got you. I doubt he's seen that. How long? You've not had that long, I don't think.
Had a little while. Yeah, it's hard to know. That was a couple of weeks ago in game when that whole event went down.
So yeah, you just you take a moment, pull your hair back. It would be helpful if you put like candle soot on your face and things like that. You're loath to do that kind of thing, I know, because you're
no, I mean, I'm just gonna try to just hide my face.
Cloak. Okay. Yeah. Get your hair out of the way. You can walk in stooped to hide your height. You might just buy like a walking stick or just a plain quarterstaff, and walk in with a limp, and just do it that way. Get you a room and get out of sight. Yeah.
No, we should be fine. Just
okay. I think, yeah. All right. So just remember, if they see your face, you're done.
Right.
And you want to have every reason to keep your face down. So, all right. So off you roll to navigate.
Mm-hmm. Or if we see another inn on the way there, we can obviously just stop in there instead.
Right.
Even easier. 41.
Takes you longer than you want. You do pass an inn that you've not been to small down and out place. It's called the Traveler's Cot, single story. They've got a room for you, no problem.
Obi-Wan, Brise is hiding her appearance because I don't remember which episode it was, but Brashla, who ran the brothel, one of the prominent brothels in town, who I got pretty much on his bad side. I was one of the reasons I got him ran out of town. That inn, the innkeep, I believe, was one of his spies, and several other people.
It was the barkeep, the winch.
Yeah.
The winch was selling you out.
So technically he doesn't have any more power here in Balabry, but I don't know who's loyal to him that might be staying there. So I'm actually noting that down. The Everwell might have some people loyal to Brashla still.
Right. At least one of the barmaids was the one who sold you out.
Right.
The barkeep, the guy manning the bar at the time, seemed kind of not knowing what was going on. So neutral, probably. Yeah. That's not to say there's not lots more trouble there. 2 copper a night here, which seems steep, but you don't care. You can cover it.
That is fine.
Young goblin female. Really attractive. Do you still want to hide your appearance?
No, I don't think so.
It might be useful because remember that everyone knows you.
Okay.
You're just too striking looking of a human.
As long as it's not too much trouble.
No, you just keep your head down. Maybe whisper. Kind of gruff up your voice. And they ask if you'll be wanting meals or horse care.
I'll take a meal, I say, but I have no horse.
Okay.
Although I do have a horse in town, I still need to actually pick up another horse.
That's the one the farmer's holding for you, right? So the edge of town.
Yeah. So I can take care of that later.
Yeah. So 3 copper. They'll bring supper to you at your request. Because you don't want to be seen by anyone. You just want to lay low. So yeah, you got you a room for the night. You could pay a few copper and just send a note up to Fraldrum.
And see if they're fine with having me back at the keep.
Well, you could ask that. You could go ahead and start. You could tell them that you've had a run-in with Lady Crom to the northeast, right? Hide the fact that she's a giant, right? If Fraldrum knows it's a giant, she'll know what you're talking about. If she doesn't, she may go ahead and start looking into it for you.
Yeah, that's fair.
The other thing is, where's the Black Pearl is back at the keep, right?
Yes.
So why don't you roll? If you remember its location well enough, you can ask Fraldrum to pick it up and begin researching it for you.
Okay. I'm a little worried she might try to confiscate it if it is something.
Well, you do trust her.
That's true. I do trust her. So if she really thinks it should be out of my hands, then I'll let her do that. So I roll to remember where it is, a 54.
Yeah, you've got a decent enough memory, no problem. So yeah, you can give her enough instructions. You trust her to search through your stuff if it's not exactly where you tell her. So yeah, it's going to take somebody some time to get up there. So you throw in, let's say 4 copper to have someone run that up, because that is a couple hours there and a couple hours
back. I'll pay him and tell him. He's going to be like,
that's right. Here you go. Just take that for whatever.
Worth a lot in another world.
Exactly.
Word.
That's what you should have done, right? Just call a portal to escape, and then go to Odisse.
I remember, yeah, I still have my Allertag crystal as well, which I can just touch and then teleport to the beneath
the
the earth somewhere.
yeah, what is that? The Unmouth,
The
yeah.
Unmount. We haven't explored that in like a year and a half,
So
Kevin. God, I've had that so long.
it's
For anyone in chat that's wanted Brees to explore the Unmouth, I'm sorry, I have not yet.
that's right.
Too many other things going on.
That's right. That's weird. I thought I had. Let's see. All right. All right. Well, so you send that note, and you just kind of really want a nap now because you were just stressed and tired again, and um, I say we take a break. Also,
I say we take a nap. I mean, a break also.
that's right. I mean, our audience already is napping, so why not? And
Okay. Back to safety, back to civilization.
that's right.
Good
And
now.
so, um, and so we'll be back in just a moment, gang. We're going to go stretch our legs and refill our drinks. Take the opportunity to do the same, but we'll be back in just a minute. Hey, everybody, welcome back. Let's get Max back on here. Hello, Max. Welcome back.
Okay.
So, had Brise tucked away in a little hostel, a peaceful hostel. Um,
Butte
and
Hostel.
that's right. And out of harm's way. Um, oh, hey, I thought out of harm's way, but the violence has returned.
That's
Uh,
from downstairs. There's a ruckus going on.
so, yeah, so you slipped past the giants in the valleys to the northeast, made it back here, um, and you're just sort of you just sort of lay down, find yourself falling asleep. Um, Sleep until there's a knock at your door.
Okay.
It's early evening. You gain 12 more hit points.
Who's that knocking at my chamber door?
That's right.
Sorry, did you say 10 hit points?
12.
12. Nice.
You pull your cowl down.
Who is it?
Right, exactly. So to disguise your voice, whispered and gravelly, trying to be a lot more discreet. It's some young goblin boy with a meal for you.
All right.
And you just take it and shoo them away, shut the door, eat your food. You're definitely feeling better. That nap helped a lot. Half of your exhaustion is recovered.
Sweet. Should put me at 85.
There's a note accompanying your meal. It carries Fraudrum's seal. There is no question that the note has been opened before you and the seal reset.
Okay.
But which is sort of unfortunate, because if someone's read this, then they may know, well, they may have learned things that they can't do much about, which is fine.
Yes, I was going to say, depending on the contents of the letter, might have to take action. I'm assuming Fraldrum knew what she was doing, though, like when include something that sensitive.
She writes, the Crom to the north is a giant. Pray tell me that you're not serious. She is serious trouble and has refused all of my approaches.
Because we did the right thing by teleporting away then.
I mean, yeah. I think it's hard to argue with that one way or the other.
Also, I might be sitting in a giant's dungeon right now.
Right. The pearl is in hand. My apprentices look it over now. Oh, should we back up and have you add a note about the crossbow, or no?
Oh, sure, yeah. I forgot about it again. Yeah, if ask her to Yeah, assess it as well for any.
for maybe possible trade with Shelby?
Yeah, yeah. I guess a way I would word it right is if I were to trade this with a sorcerer, right? Would there be any? Um,
Or just say consider this
yeah,
in part of our trade with um, the sort, our problem in the vetch.
yeah, yeah.
um,
Yeah, she would know about Chelbrick. Maybe not the most specific, up to date information, but
the note says the crossbow 2 is in hand. I recognize the material immediately. It is made from the bones of the Heleti hawk, Heletti. Make sure you've got that spelling.
Letty Hawk. Hmm.
Giant birds of the world of Uthkroon. I sent that to you in Messenger as well.
Uthkroon. Interesting.
This piece is remarkable. Well made, and from a mature bird at that.
Hmm.
Mm.
It is. She was like, I've sold it already. The gold is in my bank account. I told you no.
I've used this spell from the Tomb of eBay, and it is just.
It has changed our fortunes considerably.
It may be of greater assistance in helping our pin problem than that of the vetch.
Okay.
But I could not ask you to part with something so valuable.
I've been carrying that thing around for a while, though. I'm starting to think maybe it is time to. If it will help a conflict between two lords, then that seems pretty good use for it. Obviously, I'm not talking to her right now, but that's
No.
Okay.
If you will consent, I will approach Lady Meagral regarding a trade.
Okay.
Let me see. Text. Consider a list of services. What is it? Privileges, land, titles, or items that might be
Wow.
sufficient for such a great sacrifice.
This is a lot of information for the stuff. The note like keeps like folding open more.
Exactly. It reached its character limit. You mean it's at the bottom of the page? Yes. Let me flip it over.
Here's another note.
What's its character limit? How big do you write?
Okay. I will need some time to think about that, but absolutely I could come up with that, I think.
Well, and it kind of couldn't come at a better time.
Mm-hmm.
You've had such a big blow to your items.
Right.
Um,
Short on a lot of useful items.
Yeah. Or at least you've lost a lot. I mean,
I know also I'm talking about Aldrich, right? Like having he might need a place away from the keep, right? Being interested in some land granted.
Yeah.
That way.
I mean, you wonder what 250 mithril worth of land would be. I think I researched. I think I calculated. I think I told you that like a medieval cottage of some quality is about based on my research in medieval property stuff, it's about 30 or 40 gold.
Mm.
It would be a cottage with a very little piece of land.
Right.
So
I would like to buy 100 cottages.
Well, yeah, I mean, right? You could become basically a landlord,
right?
Rent, if it were, it's better than an inn, right? So say 4 copper a day times 30, 120 copper a day.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
make a kingdom neighboring Meagrals and then
that's right. So times 30, that's 3 gold a month you'd be making off of your cottages. Maybe more. I could see more.
I mean, I would obviously charge more to the wealthier clientele.
Right.
These are luxury cottages. Become
That's right.
A realtor.
You become
you
become our first slumlord in Karandrin. PC slumlord.
That's what I always, my sister and I, whenever we played Monopoly, whenever we would get hotels on like the bottom 2 properties, that was like, the slumlords are raking it in now. Oh boy, $100.
That's right.
Okay. So I will. Is that the end of her note?
Yes.
Okay. So I reply that I do consent to that trade, and I will provide a list in due time.
Probably not worth sending, right? You could just, she'll begin broaching the topic,
right?
And
so we'll do that, and then I think it's the only thing I had to respond to. I don't think I have anything to ask her. Well, I do clarify. Yes, Crom the giant. What does she need to know? She detected my presence, but I escaped. I think that's.
Well, I guess more to the point. Crom's, yes, that Crom, right? You don't want to mention giant. Yes, that Crom. She sought me, but I escaped.
Yeah.
And it occurs to you to ask about. You're also troubled that a mishap has sealed your bag of holding.
Right. True. I mean, I'll test that right now, right? Is it still busted?
It will not open.
Okay. So every time I have damaged magic items, they've repaired over time. So
or they've deteriorated over time.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. So I'll send her that as well, requesting if she knows anything to do about that.
throw, you wave someone down, tell them you want to send this note, 5 copper. If you want to pay more, it'll get there faster,
Yeah, I mean, it's early evening, right? So it's probably not. It's just going to get there nightfall and might not send another message back.
Right. So off they go. You definitely feel better. You're at -10 now for all actions. That nap did you good. Do you have any healing you wish to apply? It has been almost a full day.
I mean, no, I don't think so, because I didn't break any bones or like tear anything really. It's just
Well, I mean, there's, you can tell when you change the dressings that there's still tissue damage, right?
Is there? Okay. Okay. No, in that case, I do have some herbs. I can use the last of this uaru root I have. A little bit of that left. Just to place that directly on the wound, and that should heal it pretty nicely.
And how many hit points does that do?
What did it do last time I used it? Let me check. I didn't note it down. So last time I used 3/4 of it.
Yeah.
And then this time I only have 1/4 left. So
that's probably enough given the size of injuries.
Yeah.
So you sort of slice it and put it on each finger and reapply the dressing.
Yeah.
As painfully, as that may be. It definitely reduces the pain. You're now at -5 for all actions. How many hit points are you missing?
Oops. Well, I just closed my notes. 158 out of 185, so I'm missing
27.
27. Yeah.
So you gained 13.
Okay.
Your fingers feel a lot more nimble and so on. You're still moving them gingerly so as not to tear anything.
Right.
All right. So you're in for the evening. You've sort of kept out of sight.
Yeah.
You got your dishes outside your room.
I said, Nalani,
Time to get a young goblin child as a familiar.
Oh my gosh.
It's just time.
If they're young enough, they're counted as an animal. They haven't developed enough intelligence. My 3-year-old goblin.
So you could nap more. You're fine to read. You're fine to walk about town. What would you like?
I'll try to read some more from my Speech for All Peoples.
Okay. Another hour on that. I will make a note. What's next, sir?
Well, is it getting dark out, or what do you think?
Yeah, it's dark out, definitely.
Okay.
A glance outside does show. There is a large group of adventurers taking up a table. More than a dozen.
Wow.
Their confidence and some of the items that you actually recognize on them suggest they've been out in the world for quite a while. But they seem very closed. I mean, they are shoulder to shoulder. They are pointing and talking about something on the table. In all likelihood, a map, perhaps a message, a tome, some ancient volume. People, members of the party, lift their heads and glance over. You sort of close your door and sort of just peek through.
Yeah.
The thing is that, they might have information. So you could just send
someone to eavesdrop.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, you could cast your spell and try to eavesdrop.
Yeah, the spell that. Oh my God, I'm almost back at full health.
But really, I was thinking, send a round of drinks over and send a note, and say, this is from room such and such. I'm seeking information on.
That's a great idea, actually. Absolutely.
So you don't have to crowd them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything to offer? Do you have enough cash on you to offer? There's some hellum. It is gold.
Oh no, yeah, I got plenty of money. Yeah, I'll send over. Do just that, round of drinks. And how many adventures are there? There's
13.
13. God, so like 5 gold for each. You think?
You mean for information? What are you talking?
Yeah. Well, for information from them, that'd be too much.
Well, I mean,
50.
What do you consider like a good amount of gold?
Well, they're going to split it among them. That's what I was thinking, right?
Well, if they all come forward.
Okay.
Right? If one individual.
I'll send them 20 gold pieces.
No, I'm saying you want to send them a round of drinks first, right?
Yeah.
And then ask them to come to your room or knock on your door with any information.
Right.
Right. And then it could just be one person.
Oh, I see what you mean. I thought you meant I would provide them some gold right there with the round of drinks.
No, that way you can gauge what you should give them based on the information.
Yeah. I think that's we'll do that.
So round of drinks, you send them, let's say you send them some nicer stuff, cost you 4 bronze. You just close the door and let things take their course, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to ask about? Lady Crom, anything else?
I think that is all on my list here.
Lord Hestus or Chelbrick?
Well, I mean, sure, if she has any update, I feel like she would have told me that, but sure, I can ask directly.
Who's she?
I mean, Fraldrum, right?
Oh, right. But I'm saying, what about asking these adventurers about it?
Okay, yeah, sure, why not?
Because they're in the region, that's the thing, right?
Right. And there's a big group of them. So
information on either this or this.
Yeah, actually, yeah, on Hestus would be a good idea. So what do I know about Hestus again?
Pen Lord,
right?
Outspoken
connection with Anzot, right? I was trying to remember something weird. No, maybe not. Okay. Yeah. I'll just ask generally about what have you heard about. I've heard that Lord Hestus is how do I word that right? I want to know how
any information
on him more than I already know, but yeah, I guess they'll just.
And then any information on Lady Crom, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So those are your two. Are you going to skip Chelbrick?
Yeah. No. I mean, we'll throw them in there too. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I was thinking I was just going to ask them just general gossip. That's what I was intending is what have they heard about? Where are they coming from? Ask about that. But
I don't think you're going to get. They seem too close for that to be a good play, right? I mean, they seem to be involved in something they don't want anybody else involved in. So you don't seem to be prying in that.
I misunderstood. Okay.
Yeah. Because they're passing through, right, and they're asking for information, they may have heard something on the road. Their own dealings with other powerful beings may have informed them about any of these other individuals.
Right.
Sorry, I got to open my NPC roller. What is that thing called? I need to remember more. NPC generator. There it is. Hello. Are we opening? What's going on? We are, very slowly. So,
excuse me.
Interesting. There's a knock on the door.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do?
I will open it slowly and see who's on the other side. Making a lot of ruckus on the other side of the door there.
Yeah. Let's see. I'd probably add a nationality roller in here. I didn't think about that. So I knew what languages they're likely to speak.
Hmm.
Huh. There is, you crack the door open, a boot is jammed against, wedged in the door.
Hmm.
A crossbow is pointed at you over a broadly thrown cape, covering the fact that there's a crossbow from the general public's eye.
Right.
Roll for me.
52.
You're taken slightly aback. You can take an action, but I have to penalize you. Or you can just, let it play out. What would you like to do?
Obi-Wan Karen. Classy. I don't think there's anything I can do quick enough. That would
you could snap off a spell, for instance. But you do risk, of course. Oh no. Damn it. Oh no, what was that then? That was weird.
No, it's okay. I would rather not do a spell.
Keep the door closed on her foot, let her in. What do you want to do there?
I will let them in. I don't want anyone to see this going on. And
yeah. She moves in with an eerie silentness and closes the door. She is impeccably dressed, not a hair out of place. Light brown hair down just past the shoulders, blue eyes.
She a human?
Yes, human woman. Very fine clothes. Very fine clothes. So, woman of taste, but absolutely a woman of
murder.
Skill and murder. What was the other thing? Where's her general? Oh, there it is. Average appearance, although she certainly does a job with. Man, that is a crazy combination. That is fucking hilarious. Wow. And a very heavily accented fax. You can't place it. It's very uncommon. It's you've not heard this accent very many times at all. She says, she closes the door, slides the bar shut, light crossbow held on you. She says, thanks for the drink. Me and my lads appreciate it.
I still have my face somewhat hidden if I can.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you would have pulled it down. Now you speak honest with me, and I'll walk out of here, and I'll even pay you back for the drinks. But what's your business here? And why'd you choose us to go asking questions of?
Kevin, I know you roll all this stuff up randomly, so I'm not accusing of anything. But I just find it hilarious. You're like, hey, here are all these secretive adventurers. Want to send them a note? Want to buy them drinks? I'm like, sure, why not? And now the crossbow pointed at me.
It was crazy. Like, yeah, they.
If this was any other game master, I'd be like, this is just a setup for.
Right. It's it's weird, and she is the only one who reacted this way.
Wow.
And the others were like, let it go. Let it go. It's going to attract more attention than what it's worth. Let it go. Okay. But she's actually their leader. And she is, what makes sense, actually, see, risk-taking, 258.
Oh, my God. That's ridiculous.
So we roll like goals for them, like what's their highest, not really what their highest goals are, because we don't, because goals could be of equal importance to you. Mm-hmm. So her safety, the importance of safety to her on a scale of 1 to 100 roughly is a 6. Oh my God. So she sleeps at like on top of a tower without any it's about to collapse. I just love living, Yeah, it's a suspended cot, and before she goes to it's hung by a rope, and before she goes to sleep, she takes a blade and just cuts a few strands. And then she goes to sleep, just like a baby. Sleeps like a baby. Your intuitive feel to her is she is no nonsense, but she is, if you'll forgive the unfortunate choice of words, a straight shooter. She is being very direct. She's very honest with you at this moment. Okay. Well, I will. I'll pull my hood back so we can talk face to face. Seems like she wants honesty. She's really struck by your appearance and my spear. Okay. I say I'm just an adventurer like yourself, looking for information. I would be curious to know why those figures I listed provoked such a response. Nod to the crossbow. Actually, maybe I should have actually used my title that I'm serving Lady Meagle. I didn't think about that. Well, we can bring it up later. You can add it. You can say. Oh yeah. I would like to. Yeah, I forgot about it. Yeah. And just say and know that you point that at a servant of the lady of this land. Yeah, exactly. She obviously has taken your information in. The crossbow sort of gets a little looser in her hands, goes down a little bit. Mm-hmm. She slides a chair from the table provided in the room over to you. She nods to it. She leans up against the door. She says, "All right, then. Let's have a proper talk."
fine. No, let's take a seat.
Me and my boys, we don't know any of the three names you asked about. Now, Mia Graw, we've heard of.
You better have.
And unless I'm very much mistaken, we've heard of you. We've been asked more than once if we knew the black beauty who served the lady. And that must be you. Now, that's as honest as I can be with you. We don't know, or at least none of my boys admit to knowing, and I'm not going to cross them by challenging their word.
Okay.
So, now here's a chance for a little coin for you. We're seeking a magician of some skill, particularly in walking between worlds.
Okay.
We know that she's in the north of Theaxia, and we know that she is tough as hell to find unless she wants to be found. The name we've been given is Prefnot.
Okay. Now I have to make a. This is tricky because I don't know the morale. I mean, you said she seems no nonsense and a straight shooter.
To you.
Right.
But she's obviously a tough cookie. I mean, she doesn't play around.
Well, right. And what I'm worried is I don't want to give information to someone who's going to, you don't
want to cross Prefnot.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, she's done nothing to you. She's been helpful, if cautious.
Right. Right. I mean, so do we just lie or no? I say, I say, I've heard the name. I know they deal with portals. What are you all planning to do with the master of portals? That could cause a lot of damage. A lot of damage could be done with someone that powerful. Someone's jamming out outside.
My place or your place?
My place. Luckily, the mic might pick it up.
No, I didn't. I can't hear it. We have business with her. And we also have a question for her. Roll for me.
6.
You are fucking sucking.
I am fucking sucking, mixed sucking pants.
This is ridiculous. I mean, you are
really bad.
42, I think, is your highest roll today. And the majority of your rolls have been below 10.
Well, I'll ask her what business specifically.
I don't know if you're going to get an answer. I don't know if that's the way you want to. I don't think you should come at it directly, right?
Right.
On how they're doing it. I think you need to find some roundabout way to get her to slip up.
This sucks, man. I got jeez.
Like make a claim to bait her to correct you. Right? Like
Oh, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Yeah. But what would I say that would give me the information I need?
This woman strikes you as cunning, yes, but not super intelligent.
Jump her with a math question.
So something like
I was going to ask something about Prethnot's specialty.
like you could say she's no, I don't think she'd be much help identifying that tome you've got out there. See what I mean? And then she could slip up and go, that's no tome. That shield came to us, da 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 da. And you're like, okay.
Okay. I mean,
right?
yeah.
You sort of bait her to correct you.
This is an area of which I have zero. Max is zero skills. So, but
you are what is the word? There's a word for you and my dad were the same way, and it's a tremendously admirable characteristic. It doesn't always serve you though, and
right.
it's what is it? It's there's no artifice between you and the world.
Right.
Like I think I've told you the story. Like if you accuse my dad, if you accuse my dad of dishonesty, he wouldn't be angry. He would be confused.
Yes.
Like he'd be like, "What do you mean?"
That's exactly how I. And it always ends up starting fights in all of my D&D campaigns because of that. I'm like, "What do you mean?" And they're like, "You are lying." I mean, yeah, I'll just use that if you don't mind. I'll just say use that.
I mean, you're smart. I mean, you're a smart cookie.
No,
you definitely
are. To try to bait her into that.
I don't know what you think you saw. But that map came to us not from, you're going to call it a tome, is that right?
Yeah.
And she's like, that map is far too thin to be mistaken as a tome. But I'll tell you this, it's not of any land here. Nowhere on Karandrin matches that map.
So they're maybe seeking another world.
Right, to match up with the map.
How would I word this next question? So if they're looking for another world, then
So again, you just make a suggestion about why, what's valuable about the map. You just fish. And she'll just correct you, not thinking, being, she's off her guard. So make some claim about the map.
Right. I'll say, I mean, there are islands. There are islands off, the southern coast, I've heard. How can it not, could it not be one?
Did it appear? It appeared there were, right? Because you allegedly glimpsed it.
Right.
Do you know the place? Did you recognize it? Do you know where they're holding Kilshel's brother? Do you know? We don't need Prethnot if we can find this place and rescue him.
I say, if you show me the map, I might be able to learn more.
She points the crossbow at you again, more determinedly.
Okay.
Either you or Prethnot are going to help us.
Brise is not like this. She hates when things doesn't go her way. This is really getting on her nerves. How would I? Well, I mean, I could goad her. I mean, like, how determined does she seem to actually shoot me, right? In this public place, right?
That, well, you're in a private room now.
I know, but I would scream, right?
It depends on where she shoots you. It's certainly possible.
Yeah.
But I will tell you that she definitely seems like she's been out in the world longer than you.
Okay.
You ain't gonna miss with that thing.
Right.
Given
Well, I'll try to reason with her then. I'm like, you don't want the blood of one of Lady Miagral's servants on your hands. That would I advise you seek your answers elsewhere.
do you want to stand?
Yeah. Make a show of it.
Roll. Let's see if you because this is not exactly an easy situation to face.
Not 46.
So you stand slowly. You hope she doesn't see you trembling because you are scared. I mean, she stands, she leans forward with you. There's a little smile creeping across her face. Roll for me.
61. We're getting up there. Okay.
Clearly earned her admiration.
Okay.
Like you just stood up against a crossbow. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
She goes, "You've got grit." Speak straight with me. Do you know Preth not? Can you help us find her or not?
I mean, if she's gonna rescue someone, then I guess it's.
Look, you can push, but you don't have to answer. Remember that.
I know. Yeah, I just.
You can answer with another question. You don't have to.
I ask, who is this person you're trying to save? Tell me that.
One of my mates, Cashel. His brother was taken from us. We were 37. That puts them on the far side of the Penn clans, near the mountains. So the far mountains. Like, not the mountains you're in, the next set of mountains all the way off the desert.
Very far away.
He was the youngest of us, an adventurer. We found a set of stairs going down a cliff. We followed them. And there we found and partially freed an elven woman. A portal then opened beneath Cashel's brother, and off he went.
Whoa.
This Preth knot of yours imprisoned this elven woman.
Oh, okay.
A woman named Zelgan. She was known as Zelgan the Binder some 50 years ago. Apparently, she was killing portal masters.
Oh my God.
By binding their portals. The far end of their portal would show one destination, the intended destination, but she would in fact bind it to a different one. One of demons.
Goodness.
and Prethnot hunted her down and imprisoned her. And now she's taken Kashel's brother. And he will remain lost to us unless Prethnot agrees to find the brother for us. Or we have to kill Prethnot, and Zelgan will return the brother to us.
I missed a little bit in the story. So they partially freed the elven sorceress, and then what happened? The portal opened beneath the brother's feet?
Yes. Because apparently it only partially released Zelgan and her ability. She can't move. She can't teleport. She's still bound, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
But she can open a portal and drop you in it. So unlike teleport, right, where you really have to be willing to go. Your own natural magics resist going. Because portal is just a doorway. If it is open beneath your feet, in you go.
Right. But then how do they... Well, I guess she's leaving that out, right? How she knows where they is and why Prethnot can help. Because I guess she's just good with portals.
Right.
In worlds. Okay. I mean, I feel like Brise would be, moved to help her, but not enough to. So, I mean, the best way I could help them is, right, to recommend to seek Karandrin, the priest. And I could give them like a note. And then Karandrin could bring a note to Prethnot because they're friends, right?
Right.
Convergence. But I don't know if I'm willing to go that far, right? Because it would be endangering Prethnot a little bit. People seem.
Although she is one cagey cat.
She is. If she doesn't want to get caught, then
the bigger problem is endangering Karandrin.
Exactly. And so that's what I would say is, I can tell them where Prethnot is, and she's in Convergence. You'll have a tough time finding her. If she doesn't want to be found, like you said, you will have better luck finding many other portal masters. Probably.
Well, and then you can send word to Karandrin to warn Prethnot of what you've done.
That's true. Yeah.
And the whole tale.
That seems like a good good way to go about it. Yeah.
And you can delay answering to give yourself time to write the note and figure out how to get it to Karandrin. Right? Okay. These guys, in all likelihood, you're sort of mid-level character, right? I mean, you're right. You've seen some stuff, you've been through some stuff, there's a lot more to go through. You already have the ability to teleport. These guys, no doubt, have the ability to teleport, if not innately, is playing not if not learned, then purchased.
Right.
They've got a tome.
And there's 13 of them.
Right.
That is a small army of adventurers.
Yeah.
They can get around.
And so so you can tell them that you need to consult, you need to consider the matter, and then you can think about, I know it's risky right now, but do you have the range to teleport at Convergence? Have you ever tried from here?
I don't know. I'm trying to remember. So what was the journey? I've never tried.
No, that's right. Because you came here through the teleports of others.
No, I came here on a journey with Adabir, right? We came from Convergence.
Right. But
wait, we did teleport, didn't we? We loaded up the wagons, but then that's what I keep forgetting. So I don't even know if I could make it there.
Right. So that's something that Fraldrum could help you with.
Yes.
And you could teleport from your room to the temple tomorrow, to the keep tomorrow, and get Fraldrum's advice.
Yes.
And if Fraldrum can teleport you to Convergence, and you could just make your way back.
Yeah.
If you start Convergence, you could go see Aldra's parents and make a plea on your behalf.
That's true as well. There's a lot I could do in Convergence. Well, how long do you? I ask. I guess I could ask them to wait a week. Do you think these adventurers?
I don't know. They mean business. They seem urgent. I don't
Right.
think they would wait that long.
Wait a few days.
Now, if they've never been to Convergence and they wouldn't be able to teleport, they would have to travel or hire someone to teleport them.
Right.
And that, in a small town like this, that's going to be really difficult for them to find.
It's true.
Okay.
I tell her that give me some time to consider, a few days.
You'll find your answer in the vetch among the Philistine. The
Philistine are friends. Make sure
you want to. They like to. Their customary hello is for you to kill 10 to 50 of them.
Oh my God.
And then, so.
Okay. So yeah, I'll tell her that. Let me consider it. Give me a few days. I'll be here in my room.
You show, just show your bandages, like, I'm recovering from a difficult time myself.
Right. I need time to think.
She reaches into her pocket, pulls out a mithril. She's like, "For your time," and she clacks it onto the table. She hides the crossbow in her belt. Oh wait, that's wrong button.
Okay, teleport to the keep. So I'm writing down teleport to the keep. Ask Karandrin for advice or passage to Convergence. Teleport to Convergence. And warn Clarin with a note. It'll be good to see Clarin, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't spoken to him since before Veril. I was, Verilag and Krowlin were still a threat, right?
Yeah.
So that'd be good to ease his conscience. Talk to Clarin. Okay. This is so interesting, and I love this because, again, these people are not evil; they're not bad guys, but they're so dead set on what they're doing, they could bring harm to other people I care about.
Right. It's not
so weird to role play. I'm like,
Yeah, I like that. Again, it's one of the things I like about Karandrin is it's not black and white. Rarely is it black and white.
Yeah.
I guess occasionally it's black and white here. I mean, obviously Verilag was straight out. I mean, she was so selfish and self-centered.
Yeah.
There are other, Adabir, more middle of the road. Like, let's take risks and see if we can turn this black into white. And, and others are sort of like, well, I'm here for the ride. And I'll do, I'm fine to harm some people. I won't go too far, Who was the apprentice who was trying to seduce you and everything? Like, he was kind of, so he was so, he was sort of selfish, but not really. He wasn't malevolent. He wasn't out to rule the world or anything.
Right.
He wanted to take some shortcuts, and he'd find and manipulate people. And so, there's a nice spectrum,
Right.
He tells you that, she already knows you as Brise. Everyone in town speaks of you. I'm thinking of the name for her. Her name is Alassa, Allassa. She gives
She's a lot of trouble.
Yes, yes. She gives a nod, and she says that they'll be staying here. You say, look, I'm not going to be out of my room a lot. I'm going to have meals brought in. She goes, you've already seen how easily recognized I am in the streets here. She's like, you just tell her, like, don't mention I'm in here.
Right. Absolutely. Say that. Is there anything else you need to tell her?
Tell her that you're going to be sleeping a lot to try to sleep off your wounds.
Sure.
So knock gently. If you don't answer, just let you sleep, and that will give you an excuse to be magically absent.
Okay. Could ask her not to tell her friends about this either. I mean, she already came up. I guess that's not possible because she already came up here.
But she can say that you're just a traveling adventurer.
Right, yeah.
She said we should agree on a name then for you.
Okay. Just call me Megan. That's not a very fancy name. Megan.
May be gone. That's why I want you to not
be gone. Call me. What's the name of the seamstress at? I always liked her name at Miogral Keep.
Hang on. Let me find.
She had a nice
theme. Not on there.
Oh my God, what was her name?
I have all of your guys pulled up right here.
Call me Kia Bar. That name just popped up in my notes.
Okay, there you go.
They're like, the god Kia Bar? Kia Bar is one of the undead that Volshot had trapped.
Okay.
The paladins who raided the 4 towers. That's or wells. Call me Kia Bar.
What is this guy? I was trying to remember.
Erbrig, I think was her name. The seamstress.
Erbrig?
Yeah. Erbrig. Irbrig.
Oh, IR.
It's one of those names that's hard to remember for some reason.
Yeah. Different set of phonemes here.
Phonemes.
She says, Erbrig it is.
Oh.
So you need to leave yourself a note that that's an alias that you're now using. Maybe you'll use that one from here on out.
Okay.
If you like it, it'd be kind of fun to do.
God, Discord keeps. Oh my God.
So she nods. She says, do what you can for us, huh? And she's kind of crestfallen. She's kind of, this is where we're at. This is the best we can do, kind of situation.
Right.
She pauses. She's like, she pulls the door to again. She says, other than those 3 names, what could we help you with?
Okay.
Is it money you're after?
No, I mean, is there any other
items, herbs?
Nothing. I do need to replace my rings. One of them would be anything for regeneration or spell absorption. If you can come across any items of that, I would greatly appreciate it. You know, they are rare, but
we'll send out to neighboring towns. We'll ask around.
all right, I appreciate it.
So yeah, so off they go. Off she goes. Wow, that was tense.
That was an interesting encounter.
So mid-evening, I should copy Alasa's information into the database. No doubt you'll be seeing her again. Oops.
No doubt, indeed.
So you think we ought to wrap it up here?
I think so. That seems like a good place.
Let me just dump this information really quickly. There we go. All right, gang. Wow. That was an interesting one.
Brise's fortunes did not quite improve.
Well, I mean, I think overall you're at least. I
am one mithril richer, I guess.
You are, and you're at least 3 valleys away, 5 valleys away from a giant's dungeon. That's got to count for something. So, gang, thanks as always for hanging out with us. We really do appreciate it. We'll be back next Wednesday with episode 124. I'll get that up on YouTube, the schedule and everything, to remind everyone. If you think we're doing a good job, hop to Donor Box and send us some love. We really appreciate that. I just did buy a new computer just for you guys. So, and if you want to hear more from Max, and I think you should, then you should visit his YouTube channel. You can see the link there for it, where he discusses the role of music and soundtracks in video games. Thanks as always to Elliot Donovitz for their terrific art for Brise that we use, the character art there. If you want to see more of their work, you can go to artstation.com/Tortolua. And if you think I might be a decent writer and want to prove that fact, then take a look at my novel on Amazon called A Shore Too Far. Max, say goodbye to these lovely people.
Yeah, I hope you like this episode. It was a fun one. We'll see you next week. Next week. Hang in there, y'all.
Goodbye.